Howdy ho! Oh, that's Mr. Hanky. I can't use that.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, I can't. Maybe I can. No. You think Trey Parker and Matt Stone will get mad?
No, but
hi
also,
ho! I don't know. Let's just stay away from that. What is up, dudes? It's me, Sergio, and Ethan, and we're here, just like the title says, we're going to be discussing our personal
don't get butthurt.
movies. Yeah, don't get butthurt. I'm sure we missed some. I'm sure we missed a lot of original horror, golden age of horror, all of that. But these particular movies are movies that kept us up at night. Nightmarish movies that kind of changed the landscape. We're kind of digging, looking for those types of movies that were revolutionizing. Yeah, revolutions. We just picked movies that kind of revolutionized the landscape when it came to horror movies. When we say horror, it doesn't necessarily mean like, you know, Freddy Krueger, even though he's on the list. But I'm saying alien stuff too. Anything of that sort. There are some that we may have missed, but this isn't going to be the one and only tier list that we have. We want to have other videos with some of the other BGCR guys, and possibly we want to stream with you guys and get into arguments, because I know people love to argue in today's day and age, and go over your favorite movies and how stupid we are, because I'm sure people are going to either click off the video because they don't agree with us, or leave a comment that's kind of like you guys are stupid, which is fine as well. All right, we already know we're stupid. Okay. As a matter of fact, there's one movie that didn't make it to the list, to our tier list, our S tier list, that is not technically a horror movie, but it can be if you look at it in certain aspects of the movie. I'm wearing the T-shirt, Jurassic Park. It kind of changed the landscape when it came to movies in general, but I think it wouldn't technically count as a horror flick or paranormal flick, so we kept that off our list. So here's 33 movies that we think revolutionized the paranormal or horror movie landscape. Now let's get right into the tier list. We're just gonna go from left to right, no particular order. We're not gonna keep hitting my mic. All right, we're gonna go from left to right. We're not gonna go in any particular order or show any special treatment of any of these movies, even though some of them did scare the bejesus out of us. First and foremost, we have Insidious. Insidious. This is my thing about Insidious, is that the demon, dude. The demon took me right out of the movie. It just took me out. It was just like, I laughed. Yes, the demon reminds me of Darth Maul. First time I saw the very first moment I saw the damn demon, I was like, okay, look, this dude looks like Darth Maul. He doesn't scare me at all. It's like, where's Qui-Gon Jinn and you know, and Obi-Wan to kill him, to take him out of the movie, but you know, whatever. So for this one, I mean, it did have like jump scares in it, don't get me wrong. Just a quick little overview. So we went S tier, A, B, C, and we skipped E and D, or D and E. Yeah, D and E. I went just straight to F, because I feel like there's no in between when it comes to that kind of movies.
Well, especially if you're doing
Insidious,
a tier.
Yeah, especially if you're doing a tier, or else it'll be too many. You know what I'm saying? So we can have our open arguments on each movie. Insidious, I'm gonna say C. It's not a bad movie where it's like, oh, this is horrible. No, it did nothing for me. Even though these movies are all going to be hard to kind of place it at F, because they all have their moments when it comes to horror history. But it's going to be
I
tough.
have something to go in F already. Trust me.
All right, so Insidious, you think it belongs to be in C? It deserves. You do think it deserves to be in C? So we could get into why it should be C.
Personally,
what's your argument on it?
Okay, personally for me, I think it would be a B. The only reason why I give it just a little bit more was the twist at the end. Instead of, because you thought that the son.
Spoilers.
Even though this movie's been out for like a gajillion years already.
I think what's the I think the spoilers timeline, or
it's like
grace period. The spoilers grace period is like 30 days or something like that.
Yeah,
we're way beyond it. If you haven't seen it and we're gonna spoil it for you, that's your own fault. Click off.
Yeah, because like, to be
any
honest,
of these movies.
Yes, because like the dad that comes out in Insidious is Ed Warren, and Insidious came out before these Conjuring movies. That tells you how old the Insidious series is.
Yeah, it's old. It's an old movie.
Yeah. But anyways,
do you know what year it came out? Are you aware?
See, Insidious, the first one. Not Red Door.
Oh, the Red Door.
First one came out 2010.
Oh,
2010.
Okay. So 13 years ago. So it's a 13-year-old movie.
Yeah.
You should go watch it, or if you have. I mean, if you're here looking at a tier list for horror movies, I'm sure you saw it, right? Right.
I'm hoping you've seen all of these, because these are like super popular movies. So, I would say I give it a C. C.
So C, would you say it's a C?
Yeah, I would place it B and C. I wouldn't place it F. The only reason why is it had its moments, and the storyline was good from my point of view, because like you didn't expect the dad to be the reason why crap was happening. You find out it's just the whole damn family who can like see into purgatory, and like so yeah. I think that was like the saving grace of the movie, was just like the storyline somewhat.
The storyline itself. Well, I'm glad you're here to explain the reason why, because I don't even remember that, dude.
Oh,
because I'm telling you that Darth Maul demon just took me out of the movie. I was just like, when I was in the theater and I was just sitting there, I was like, okay, I want to go watch Star Wars after this. That's all I could think of. Like, I was just. Hey, let's move on. Okay, so this one. So there's going to be a reverse effect on some of these movies, just to let you know. Reason being is because...
Okay, that's what that is. I was trying to figure out what the next one is. Leprechaun. Okay.
So the next one is Leprechaun. Okay. Obviously, who has ever seen... there should be no spoilers on this, because this is a really old movie.
So the first Leprechaun came out in 1993.
If you haven't seen this movie, shame on you. But to me, it's okay. It's kooky. It's super kooky. Leprechaun is super kooky. Okay, let's be realistic. Now, when I was a child, there's a reason why it's on this list, because when I was a child, it creeped the shit out of me. I'm kind of dating myself, but fuck you.
You know, it's funny you say that, because I remember when you showed me this movie, I was like in like middle school, and it wasn't even like, it was just him. Something about the Leprechaun character scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
It's like an age, it's got to be an age threshold with the certain types of horror movies, because Leprechaun, when I was a little kid, I was like, this is scary. But then when I got older, I'm like, this is funny. This is fucking, look at the buckles on me shoes. And it's just...
See that? The buckles on me shoes?
And then you just start seeing things. Oh, wow, that's hilarious. So obviously, to me, this horror movie is a little comedic. It's like a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Like, that genre really does exist. But this one was... it turned into a horror comedy over time. Not on purpose. It just kind of happened. But
yeah,
for me, you can argue it. For me, this is a B, because of how hilarious it is.
Yeah, it's a B. It's a
two
B.
Two things. Two things. Okay, it was it's hilarious now as an older person, and it was scary and kind of gave you nightmares for a little bit as a kid. So I'm gonna say B.
I say
if
B.
you yes. So if you have any arguments on this, on why we're wrong, leave a comment, and maybe in the future we'll have a stream and we can argue it out. All right. So this next one, I don't know if you've seen it, Ethan. I've seen it several times.
I can't see it.
Event Horizon. So the next movie is Event Horizon. If you haven't seen this movie, whoa, it is wild. So it features Sam Neill, who is Dr. Grant, in, coincidentally enough, in Jurassic Park. But it's a horror movie, so just to give you an overview of it, Ethan, it's sci-fi. And they basically go okay, spoilers again, if you haven't seen it, that's your fault. But they basically go through hell. Like, they go through a portal or a black hole, and they go through hell. It is crazy. Okay? Crazy what happens. And I'm not going to get too much into it. You can go figure it out. Go watch it. Event Horizon did scare the crap out of me. I don't know if it scared the crap out of you. Or, well, I don't think Ethan's seen it. So this is kind of a personal thing. I am going to place this on B because of how scary it was. And the concept is wild. That their spaceship went through a wormhole, black hole, or, you know, what have you. Don't remember very well. But they went through they went to hell. And it's crazy. Crazy concept. Good movie. Go watch it if you haven't seen it.
By the way, the movie is 26 years old because it came on in 1997, the same year I was born.
Oh, wow. All right, 26 years old, and if you haven't seen it, shame on you. Shame on you. Wait, 26? Are you sure 26?
26. It went in theaters in 1997.
All right, cool. All right, this next one is kind of a newer movie, not too new. But it's one of those, you know, extraterrestrial movies that it's kind of a sleeper. There's a lot of sleeper movies we may or may not have. No, we don't have a lot of sleepers. There's few and far in between when it comes to sleeper movies. But this is a sleeper extraterrestrial movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's pretty crazy. The story's wild. Have you seen it?
Yeah, Fourth Kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say because of, I don't know, whenever in the movie, obviously you know that it's in Alaska, correct? If I'm not mistaken, yes. That's where it takes place.
It is in Alaska.
So it's in Alaska, but they're in the sticks. They're not like in Anchorage, you know, in the city. It's definitely in the sticks, and you feel like you're out there when you're watching this movie, like the kind of like the solemn feel or the unknown kind of thing. Like you don't know what's going to happen next, and you want a movie to make you feel that way. There's so much uncertainty. This movie for sure kept. To be honest with you, there's out of these 33 movies, there's only a few of them that made me take a shower with my eyes open and shampoo falling down.
There's some in there on here.
Kind of wanting to sleep with one eye open, with one eye open because it's about getting abducted. And I am gonna personally put this at.
I say A.
I say A, dude. It's like,
yeah,
there's not a lot of good alien movies or extraterrestrial movies that really kind of reinvigorated my my scary factor into movies like this. But I think this thing kind of, because let's be real, the first movie to kind of really grab audiences when it came to extraterrestrial things obviously was Alien. Okay. And it's in this tier list and we'll talk about that, but this is Fourth Kind. I will say it's an A.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like a lull, right? From Alien up until, you know, what year did this come out? 2013?
9.
Okay, 2009. I would say You had little blips here and there when it came to extraterrestrial movies, but I feel like this movie really hit it home, and it was, you felt it, and you were scared after watching the movie, and which is crazy because now a lot of alien stuff's going on. I'll just let that sink in for a little bit.
Well, do you know it's like based on based on a true story?
Yeah, it's based on a true story, which is also wild. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are gonna firmly put this at A. Okay.
To give a little background, Fourth Kind. The reason why it's a true story because the city of Nome, Alaska, has been known to have a lot of interesting things happened. Like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting little tidbit. If you haven't seen the movie, go check it out. Fourth Kind. The Fourth Kind. Really good movie. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now, this next movie, Holy Mary, Mother of God. This movie absolutely scared the bejesus out of me as a child. And I'm sure it scared a lot of you as well. You're going to have your people like, oh, I didn't get scared. I'm a big tough guy. I'm a big horror buff. I'm not scared. Well, guess what? There's some of us that do get scared, and we like to get scared. And this one did scare me. Okay, as a child, and it still scares me as an adult too. There's a lot of memes when it comes to this movie. A lot of parodies. I think, they came out in South Park. This was another movie that kind of reinvented the genre when it came to ghosts in movies. We're not familiar with the poltergeist. Poltergeist is a type of entity. They're more of a physical being when it comes to letting you know that they're there. What I mean by physical being is throwing your shit around the house. This actually kind of, but not really, it inspired Paranormal Activity, which is also on the list. Poltergeist will mess your stuff up. So Poltergeist, I personally, this is S. This is an S tier for me. The Poltergeist just did it on its own. So agree with us or disagree with us, we're putting it on S tier. S tier. This is in a league of its own. It was first of its kind to do that kind of stuff as far as production. The horror factor, S all the way.
This movie came out in 1982, so if you haven't seen this movie yet,
shame on you.
What are you doing? What are
you doing with your life?
If you're watching this video and you're here for horror movies and you haven't seen Poltergeist that came out in 1982, why haven't you seen it yet? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, what's going on with your horror life? It doesn't make any sense.
If the only reason why you're here and you understand Poltergeist is because of South Park, because that lady going, then I kind of get you.
So this next one is more of a meme movie, especially because we're Mexican and we're like, hey, I identify with this movie. There's a lot of santeria, a lot of Mexican jokes, or Hispanic, I should say. I don't want to offend anybody. Whether you agree or not, there's a lot of people that believe it, and I personally feel this way. Paranormal Activity is kind of one of those movies that reinvented the horror genre, scared the shit out of people because for a while, people thought that Paranormal Activity was real. So this movie, we put this on a part of our tier list is because of the memes, the relatability for us Hispanics, or particular us Mexicans. So for Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, I would give this a solid C tier. On the scale.
C, around there.
You have to be definitive, Ethan. You have to make a decision.
Here's the thing. What people don't realize, I would give it a B because I have a bias towards Paranormal Activity. The only reason why is it kind of sparked this thing in me to get into the paranormal. So the Ghost Adventures, which is another topic.
This movie, not the first.
Well, no, more just Paranormal Activity movie. The Paranormal Activity series itself sparked the interest of doing paranormal stuff in real life. And the marked ones, I feel like we hadn't gotten a good Paranormal Activity until we got the marked ones, one that was actually kind of scary. And I liked it because it connected the first movie. It kind of did a wraparound like that.
Right.
Because the end of Marked One's connected to the end of the first Paranormal Activity. That's kind of another reason why I liked it too.
That's true. That's true. At the end, you go through the portal, the door, and you end up in the kitchen. That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
So the ending is when you find out, because in the first movie, you hear them going crazy, and
you just hear
like,
noises.
What the hell happened? Yeah. And the end of Marked Ones, you see that Katie stabs Mika in the chest. She was actually screaming not because of her being demonic, but she was screaming because the character from Marked Ones got into her home, and she's like, "What the hell?" And then she got possessed, and then she stabbed Mika, and then the guy left, and he got killed by the demon in the other timeline. So it's kind of like it gave it a full circle.
Okay. I see where you're coming from. See, this is good. This is why you have a discussion. You sway people, you may not, or people are too stubborn. I'm gonna go with B. You want B? Yeah. Okay. Because it kind of tied the series together.
No, it did.
But if it was any of the other ones, I'd be like, it's a C, whatever.
Besides the first one, which we're gonna get into.
Okay. So this one is probably my favorite horror movie of all time.
Yes.
So, and I'm sure it is for many people. It paved the way. Let's say that.
Yeah.
It paved the way for a lot of horror movies to come in the future. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of possession movies. There's a lot of exorcist movies that came after this. A lot of demonic movies that came after this. Look, if you haven't seen this movie and you love horror, what's going on in your brain, man? Where are you? What are you watching? Go watch this movie, man.
Once again, why are you watching this video if you haven't seen The Exorcist?
Or if you're here watching this because you're trying to get ideas of what movies you should watch and you're not into horror too much, this is the first one you need to go watch.
True.
Is The Exorcist.
That's very true.
So this The Exorcist, definitely S.
Yes.
By far. Like
no I think
questions.
The S tier right now, if you were to think about it, because I believe The Exorcist is older than Poltergeist. These two movies kind of really, I feel like, push the horror genre to people and like made it seem like, holy crap, this is actually.
I think there's a few movies that are horror or paranormal in general, that kind of made its way into pop culture. The Exorcist is one of them, especially because you can talk to anybody that isn't a horror buff or doesn't really like horror movies that much, but they are aware of what The Exorcist is. So it did break a lot of barriers when it came to people that watch these type of movies. Now, Amityville Horror, the original one, I liked it. Don't get me wrong, it was cool. Come at me in the comments if you want. It's fine. I don't know. I'm not gonna say mid, because mid is, in today's day and age, mid is like bad. It's got it's negative connotations to it. But I'm gonna say it was okay. So I am going to put B for Amityville Horror, the original one.
Yeah, I would say B. B's a good one.
If it was the remake with Ryan Reynolds, since it's got that sexy factor, all that sexiness that Ryan Reynolds brings to it. If you look at our past shorts, you can see what I'm talking about.
Daddy Ryan Reynolds.
That would have been like an A, maybe. Daddy Ryan Reynolds. So you know what? Come at me, dude. Come at me, bro. How do the young ones say it? Yes, come at me. C. Ugh. I moved it from B to C. It's just like whatever, dude. It's not, I don't know.
Now, I want to verify something. If they make a Conjuring movie based off of Amityville, I feel like, again, this is all this perspective, like this is my train of thought, my opinion.
It's all speculative.
Yes. Yeah. If they do an actual, besides like it being Hollywood, it's all going to be Hollywood dramatized, whatever. But if they, instead of basing it off the event, which is always going to be dramatized, but actually show the paranormal investigation aspect of Amityville, I feel like it'd be a little bit better. Like doing the Ed and Lorraine Warren Conjuring aspect, but doing Amityville.
Right. I just feel like some people may hate me for saying this, but I felt like the original Amityville Horror had like cheap thrills in it. It was just like your regular tropes when it comes to horror movies. It was just like, oh, okay. Now, as a kid, it really didn't scare me much, which is crazy because stupid things scared me when I was a kid. didn't create any new nightmares for me, or have any nightmares after watching it, because that's what our tier list is about, is nightmares. If the movies gave you nightmares, this one didn't. Sorry, did not. Now, we're not doing this in chronological order, year after year, but this is It, the remake, not the original one. It was good. It was. Here's my problem with It. Okay, this might be personal, but it felt very Stranger Things-esque. Like they were. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, these two movies, I felt like they were trying really hard to ride the wave of Stranger Things. Now it's here on this list. Why? Because It, the movie original, was another movie that kind of revolutionized the genre, and it was only fitting to do this because a lot of people like it, and we're gonna upset people right now. Personally, dude, the remake, it's a C for me, dude. That's a C. I'll say why. It's a C for me because they were riding the coattails of Stranger Things, and they're trying to make it like too much like Stranger Things. They even had Finn Wolfhard. What's his name? Finn Wolfhard. Finn. They even had him in the movie. It was just like, okay, hold on. All right, we see what you're trying to do. What about you? I would say C. Maybe we could come to an agreement.
The reason why I keep it a C, I wouldn't even give it a B. I mean, it's not scary. It's a slight B- to a C+ for me, is because of Bill Skarsgård. Like the way he did Pennywise, like he did like facial training to do certain things, and like he actually went the extra mile as an actor to do what he did. Like I think that's the only reason why it was somewhat like.
But here's the question. Remember, our tier list is based off of nightmares. If it created new nightmares for you, did it? For me, it didn't.
No, it didn't. But then again, I keep thinking, if I were to have a bad dream about fucking Bill Skarsgård being Pennywise, that wouldn't like it. And seeing him stare at you and then him do the eye thing going like that.
Right, but that's the question. Did it?
No. As weird as it sounds.
So just for that, it's a C.
Yeah.
It's a C. It's not bad. It's still in our tier list. I know we don't have D&E, but C's still not bad. F is like, damn, dude, what the F? What the F are you doing? Like,
and the next one's coming up for me for that.
So here's the original Saw. I know. Okay, there is a group within the horror genre or paranormal that really love gore and gruesome aspects when it comes to movies. So Saw is not scary whatsoever.
Yeah,
to me at least.
It's funny, as sad as it sounds.
It's fun. It can be funny. It can. Dude, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's not scary at all. It's kind of like you're just thinking about it, who's who, and the twist at the end. Jigsaw's right there laying down because he's dead or whatever. I'm gonna go F, dude. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go F.
If this pisses any of you off, look, man. The first time I saw it, I didn't do anything for me.
No, because you got to think about when you're watching just like movies, you want to.
Oh, he was lying down there the whole time. That was
weird. The way I look at it, the reason why I give it an F, one, it didn't scare me. Two, was more just like, like some aspects of it, like when he started like chopping off, I think it was his leg, right? It just makes you feel uncomfortable rather than being scared. That's what it is, and that's not what you go for horror movies. You don't go to horror movies to feel uncomfortable. You go there to be scared and then have you wet the bed because you had a nightmare of it.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So all in all, this movie's horrible. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
I wouldn't say horrible.
No,
it's not horrible.
It's not my favorite.
Scale. On a nightmare scale, it didn't scare it. It didn't scare me.
And not just that, but then like, I know it's not on here, but they continue the series and it just feels like a Fast and the Furious version of horror movies. That's how it feels at this point.
You say that, but people can make the argument for the same thing for the Paranormal Activity movies, right? But
they stopped. You know what I mean?
I didn't like the last one though. I didn't like the last one.
The Netflix one?
Not that I didn't like it, but it was just like, okay. But yeah, F on Saw. So this next movie, Jaws. If you haven't seen Jaws, holy hell, something's really wrong with you. So this is definitely a horror movie. If you don't think it is, you're stupid. I'm not taking that back. You are stupid. Now, for me personally,
I'm over here laughing already because I'm already thinking.
Look, man. I have silicophobia. This movie may have helped create that in me, but I have it. I
swear to God, sir, if you put this on S tier, I swear to God.
Look, I had irrational thoughts because of this movie. I had irrational thoughts of sharks are going to get in my bathtub. Sharks are going to
the swimming pool
somehow get into the swimming pool and eat me. I will not go in any body of water now because of this movie and a few others.
And Shark Week.
And Shark Week. I do watch everything. I do watch all the shark stuff because, well, you have to know your enemy. That's why.
It's so stupid.
Jaws. Ethan thinks I'm going to put it S, but, you know.
If you put a B or A.
I am going to put S.
All right. Okay. Look, I give it an S because it is a good movie. And it's honestly, like, I feel like it was one of the first shark movies that actually scare people, I feel like. Like, there wasn't one before that.
There may have been, like, cheesy ones that no one knows of, but
one that went like super Jesus,
this is
super popular.
This one really broke a lot of barriers when it came to moviegoers. Like, so many people know about Jaws, and believe it or not, look it up if you don't know this. Jaws created a lot of sharkophobia, meaning they didn't like sharks and they want to kill all sharks.
Oh, God, all right. This one scares me. This one scares me. This one scares
the shit out of me.
Yes.
So when we went to go see it, I had nightmares of this movie. There's a fine line in the horror genre when it's like movies that really hit home and scare the crap out of you, and then there's slasher films. We're gonna get into slasher films after this one. Straight to the point. Grudge, A, because it was like
I would put it S The reason why I can't tell you why I put it S, because now whenever we play horror games or I watch these weird Japanese Reddit videos and you see they enter like a grudge person, I instantly get jump scared. All right, like it's just something about jump that. Scare.
But nightmares, what does it do for you on a nightmare scale?
Yes, I would put it A or I would put it S for me personally.
S, okay. I would argue A. I don't know. S is like cream of the crop. Like we're talking like Biggie. Tupac of horror movies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like The Grudge, I don't know. I feel like just one small little factor of it would push it into the S column. Something extra. I don't know what it is. A is a perfect spot for it.
Mm-hmm. And we've actually, you know what's funny? So, the ghost that's in The Grudge. I know it's a little girl, but she becomes a ghost. We encounter it in demonologist and phasmophobia. And the type of ghost she is an Onru, which is what we constantly it's always the one that freaking crawls on the ground,
crawls on the walls and
on
the ceilings and crawling on the ground. I would say A is a good spot for it. Next one. Now this might be a personal thing. Yeah, this is definitely a personal opinion. I do not get scared of slasher films. Any of them. Why is it up here? Because I guess it's more iconic than anything else. Jason is one of those household names when it comes to horror, like Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger. I might get hate for this, but
you're putting an F, aren't you?
No, I'm not gonna put an F.
I was gonna say
that's low key up if I were to do that. Yeah, it's a C for me, dude. I'm just not big on slasher films. There's nothing really scary about it.
I agree with that. Friday the 13th for a C, guys. Yeah,
it's fitting. Here's another slasher film. Now I'm gonna get a super lot. Dude, look, there's people out there that love slasher films. That's all you, boo boo. They're not scary. They're more fun. Insensitive to say, but they're fun. Kind of like
not just
funny.
that, but this one. I saw this one recently and just made me laugh. I wasn't even scared.
I remember seeing it as a kid and I was just like, oh, that was kind of dumb. So come at me in the comments. That's an F. Scream's an F, dude.
I'll put it this way. Scary Movie 1 is scarier than Scream. That tells you something.
Now this next one, oh boy. Oh.
This one's scary.
So The Ring is another movie. If you haven't seen it, putting in VHS tapes after watching this movie scared the crap out of me. Like, I didn't want to put VHS, and believe me or not, at the time, VHS tapes were still relevant, and we had some in the house. We had VCRs and all that stuff. VCRs and VHS tapes scared the crap out of me for a while, and this one definitely gave me nightmares. So this one, I'm going to give it a solid B. What do you think?
Yeah, B. I don't
know if it's just me, but because, look, I know that The Ring came out before The Grudge, but they're kind of like the same movie a little bit. The Ring may have done it first, that type of entity coming out in the video or movie, but it didn't scare the crap out of me like The Judge did. The Grudge.
The Judge.
So I'm going to go The Ring, let's say B tier. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a safe spot for it.
I have to ask you, what is the next one? I can't really see it.
Dark Skies.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Oh, you've never seen? Okay, this is this next one's just me. Ethan's never seen this movie. It's Dark Skies. It's another sleeper movie, kind of like the fourth kind of extraterrestrial movies. It did scare me. It didn't really give me nightmares like the fourth kind did. And Dark Skies was a great movie. I'm going to give it a C. Personally, Ethan's never seen it. You should see it though. If you haven't seen Dark Skies, go watch it. You should. It's good, but on a nightmare scale, it really didn't get me. It didn't get me. They didn't give me nightmares. Here's another slasher movie. Another slasher movie that is very much like, dare I say it, like Fast and Furious of horror. They don't stop these damn movies. Now, supposedly, I haven't seen the last one, but supposedly he finally dies. I call bullshit. Somewhere along the line, they're going to see, oh, he never died.
Well, then the one before that, they like stabbed him to death and they shot him like 20 billion times, but yet he survived.
And he burned into that. Yeah, he burned in that house, but he lived.
Yeah.
And then Jamie Lee Curtis comes back one more time to fight him. I was just, like I said, slasher films really don't do it for me. I don't think they do much for Ethan either. Come at me. Come at us if you don't like it.
I feel like
I'm going to go C.
Yeah. I feel the only reason why these movies actually scare people because they have, I hate to say it, no hate against me, but the cheap jump scares, because they just do jump scare and then scare you.
It's just cheap jump scares, and then you're just like, you know what's coming, and who's gonna die, who's gonna survive. There's just nothing new about them. Even when I saw like the original ones, and probably out of all the slash, okay, how about this, a mini tier. We really can't have a graphic for it, but a mini tier of slashers. Which slasher do you think scared you the most?
I don't know.
For me,
yeah, it's right there.
Nightmare on Elm Street probably was mine. The infamous Ridley Scott made this movie, Alien. This one definitely paved the way and kind of scared new audiences. But this is not about scaring or what it did in the general public. Remember that this tier list is about creating new nightmares. Honestly, Alien didn't do anything. Like, it didn't scare me as a kid. It was just like, oh, I don't want to look at this. But I didn't get any nightmares. Did you get any nightmares from watching this?
Mm-mm. The Alien game got me more scared than the actual movie.
Yeah, the Alien game got you scared. I'm going to go B. B tier for that one. What do you think?
B tier? Yeah, B tier's good.
So this next movie, this is The Blair Witch Project. If you haven't seen this, go watch it. Scared a lot of people because one factor alone, people thought it was real found footage. And I'll give it that. Blair Witch Project kind of clear the road for upcoming movies that would kind of delve into the found footage niche of horror flicks, and particularly one that's our favorite. As unscary it is, and you don't see a witch in the movie, spoilers, you kind of just see someone look like they're taking a piss in the corner of the room. You're scared of something that's there, but you can't see it, and that's what that's why I think it inspired Paranormal Activity. So I am gonna give this one a B. What do you think?
Yeah, B. I give it a B. It paved the way for a lot of found footage movies in general, because then you have Cloverfield, which is another found footage movie that it kind of paved the way to doing that. Then you have Paranormal Activity, so it's kind of like, and the fact of you never really seeing the witch makes it even scarier, because like you don't know where it's at.
Yeah, and you don't know what you're looking for, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I would say it. B tier's good for it. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah,
Good spot for it.
Good.
Make your arguments down below. That's the point of this video. This next one, you've seen it before. Fire in the Sky. You saw it when you were younger.
Yes.
Fire in the Sky was definitely something that was different, and it's another sleeper movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's an extraterrestrial movie. It's about a guy getting abducted and coming back, and he tells a story. It's super wild. I'm not gonna completely give the movie away. Honestly, dude, it's A tier for me. Because it did. The first time I saw that movie, it really did create nightmares for me, for sure. All right. Thanks to Sam Raimi, we have Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. If you didn't know this, he is a horror guy. So he started The Evil Dead. If you have not seen The Evil Dead, it is crazy and scary, super gory for all you gore freaks out there. You know how movies pave a way for other movies? Evil Dead paved the way for everything within that universe just being for what it was.
I give it a B.
I'm gonna give it an A.
B.
Why do you say B? Maybe we could come to common ground.
Because it didn't really give me nightmare.
Oh, that's
I don't know
why. Oh, you're right. This is a nightmare list. I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I think you're right. For what it is, B. B, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So this next one is another extraterrestrial movie. It is Signs by M. Night Shyamalan. How do you say the name? M. Night Shyamalan.
I don't know.
M. Night Shyamalan. There we go. Okay, let's just say it that way. No, look, this movie didn't give me nightmares, so for sure it's out of S, out of A. Honestly, it probably out of B, but it did do new things within extraterrestrial, and it gave it a twist. Not really, it wasn't really a twist. It was creepy because at first he did a really well job of not showing you the alien. You don't know what you're looking for. You saw the hand, shadows and figures, or you kind of saw it on the roof until the final reveal where he showed the alien and they're fighting in the living room. But I am gonna firmly give this C. What do you think? Or am I being unfair? It didn't give me nightmares.
I would give it a B because it gave me nightmares. Not like really bad nightmares, but I remember one thing specifically that always creeped me out and gave me kind of like nightmarish like thoughts was when like it was like that found footage in a different country that they were watching and like they saw the alien.
It was like Brazil or something.
Yeah. I think that's what kind of got me there. But me, I'll give it a B. But you would give it a C.
Okay.
I wouldn't give it an A or S because it wasn't like.
I do remember having nightmares about it. I do remember that, and this is a nightmare tier list. So B it is.
So if we were going by nightmare, that means Friday the 13th and all these like other ones should be like an F or but yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But I think
I'm only being
just
fair.
To be nice, yeah.
We're being fair. We're being fair to most of the ones in C column because there was no nightmares in some of them.
No,
like 0.
Yeah, B's like you got a little bit of nightmares, but it was also a good movie.
Yeah, exactly. So The Hills Have Eyes is the next one.
This one doesn't get me scared.
It didn't give me nightmares.
No,
it wasn't really scary. We were more like freaked out, and we were just like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen next, and you're scared for the family.
It made me feel uncomfortable, but not scared.
So safe to say, quick one, C.
Yeah, C.
Hills Have Eyes. We're gonna throw in C.
This one didn't get me scared.
No, not at all.
No.
Look, look, Predator.
Good
so
movie.
Much respect for the movie itself. Really, it was kind of a genre of its own because it's not your typical alien movie or anything of that sort. But it really didn't get me scared and no nightmares. So
I'll say C. It didn't get me scared, but it's a good movie. But then again, because remember, this is a piss your pants type of in bed list. So
for sure.
This better one. This is a type of tier list that where you're falling asleep and you don't want your foot off the covers because you don't want something grabbing you.
You don't want something grabbing you, or you're taking a shower and you're just letting shampoo hit your eyes.
What's the next one? Is that Jeepers Creepers?
It's Jeepers Creepers. Now this one scared
me.
the shit out of me, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why before all of you are like, well, Jeepers Creepers. But you know what, Jeepers Creepers, it created new nightmares for me because you can't kill the guy. You just can't. No. And he's taking all your body parts that he's like, I like that weenus. Give me it. And he'll take it. Whether you like it or not, doesn't matter where you go, where you hide, he's going to take it from you. Justin Long dies in it. Justin Long's beloved by so many people. And you killed him. So this one, I'm going to give a solid. Now, if you don't like this, and it goes because it goes beyond all these other ones, I give it A because there's something new.
It's scary.
And it's scary, and it gave nightmare. And if you don't like that, well, again, fuck you. And love you at the same time.
Join our club.
You join the club. So this next one, The Shining, it didn't scare me as much.
No.
You know what? It did scare me. Some of the imagery before you realize what's going on, and before Jack Nicholson gets all crazy and starts trying to murder his family. Did it give me nightmares?
To me, no.
Really. The iconic moment of the twins in the hallway, we're always talking about that. Whenever we go to hotels, we're always like, hey, this reminds me of The Shining. I would say, just for what it is, because it's a good movie. I'll give you that. It is a good movie. I'm going to give it a B.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I say B. Plus, it's based off a true story. Well, not true story. True haunted.
True
hotel.
Events.
Yes.
Yeah, true events.
Daddy Zach Bagans went to that hotel.
Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Next one. Nightmare on Elm Street. Which is funny because it's the whole movie's based on dreams and him attacking you in his dreams, in your dreams. It didn't give me any scary dreams. It was just kind of like, oh. But I'll tell you this. Out of all the slasher flick, because I categorize it as slasher, Nightmare on Elm Street is a little scarier than like Friday the 13th or Halloween. It's a little scarier. I'll give you that. The original, at least. Not all the new stuff like Freddy versus Jason and all that wild stuff. So, what do you think? B?
B, yeah.
B for Freddy Krueger? Freddy Krueger gets a B. All right, this next one, I apologize because most of these you can't see the titles because of the formatting. But this next one is The Omen. Not the remake, but the original Omen. The remake, if you don't know this, the remake was released on June 6th, 2006. The original Omen, I would say, it did scare me. It did give me nightmares the first time I saw it. The reincarnation of the Antichrist. And a lot of crazy kooky things. They adopt him. A lot of crazy things start happening. The nanny hangs herself. It is new nightmares for sure. So B tier is perfect for it. Now this next one is another slasher-esque movie. If you haven't seen Psycho, this is like beyond our time, but it's still relevant, especially with a lot of memes with American Psycho. So it's only fitting to pay homage to this. Psycho, I want to say another B, because and that's more out of respect. It's a damn good movie. And it kind of created nightmares because the shower aspect. The shower aspect, number one. Number two, because it kind of instilled mistrust of anybody. Like you shouldn't trust all strangers kind of thing. Now this next movie.
S.
Right. Just straight to it.
Yes.
Oh man, we're gonna get so much hate because it's gonna go in front of a lot of movies. Paranormal Activity, I know wasn't the first. It wasn't the first found footage type of movie out there, but the things that it did, I don't know if because it resonated with me and Ethan because of our own paranormal experiences, and they kind of echoed and mirrored what was happening in that movie. But this is our list. And this is our nightmare list. So. And it's your job to argue it down below in the comments. I'm going to go S tier for this one. I'm sorry.
And I'll give my piece the reason why it's S. For one, you had Blair Witch, which changed the horror aspect of doing the found footage. But then I think Paranormal Activity, it heightened that found footage aspect because it went from doing like witchcraft stuff to doing now paranormal things. And the way they shot the movie just felt real. It made, like you said earlier, people really thought it was real. Like, when you first start watching it, you're like, holy crap, like, is this actually people getting tormented by a demon? Like Sergio said, felt so real that it touched our paranormal side because we were like, holy crap, this is some of the things that we went through. Some of it, not all of it, because a lot of it's obviously dramatized. what's crazy behind it is it was a B movie before. It was a low budget movie that did really well and how it did things, and it exceeded a lot of other horror movies that had a bigger budget.
Didn't it go through like Sundance and like all those festivals? Yeah. S tier for us because it created nightmares. Now you remember, we're sticking to the nightmares. Nightmare. Keep that in mind while watching this. It's nightmares.
This was the movie that made sure to not want to have his foot outside the covers, because the one part in the movie, the girl gets dragged because her foot was outside the covers
and she got dragged. You know, because covers are gonna protect you. It's like,
I know,
it's like a shield. Keep in mind this, we may have another list in the future because there are new movies that came out that can be added to the nightmares list, but we haven't experienced the nightmares yet. So, and it might be because it has to do with age. We're a little older, but we'll see. Anyway, the next movie is The Sixth Sense. Creepy factor, yeah, it was there. It did scare you a little bit because of what the boy was saying and the certain imagery that they would show you that he was looking at. But I would say
B.
Man, it's a B because of everything I explained, but it didn't really like give me nightmares.
Yeah, it really didn't. It gave us good memes and it gave us a good South Park episode.
Yes, that it did. Okay, so this next one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is kind of another
slasher.
It's going to be a slasher because of Leatherface, but I don't know why, people might hate me for this comment, but I kind of put it in the same bucket. Well, I should say the other way around. Hills Have Eyes, I put that. Hills Have Eyes. That's not even the original Hills Have Eyes. I want to say they're in like the same bucket. Hills Have Eyes and Chainsaw Massacre, like ding 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 ding, like that kind of stuff. See?
Yeah.
All right. So we're down to two to finish off our tier list. I'm just gonna be upfront about this. It is S for me.
Yeah,
it gave me fucking
the original.
nightmares.
It scared me.
The original, it scared the fucking life out of me.
Because remember it was the laundry rod and they had the sheets right there.
Yeah,
popped out of that part always scared me for some reason. He was just like he popped out.
Look, I know, and I feel the same way about it. Maybe because it's a Stephen King thing. I don't know. The twist at the end is always kind of like, really, that was it. Even though at the end it turned out to be a space spider or whatever. The clown version of Pennywise, Pennywise itself, it did give me a lot of nightmares. And it kept me scared for a good 10 solid years. So easy S tier for it, for sure. Nightmares, not quality or storytelling. Nightmares. All right, and here's the piece de resistance, and I'm really glad it was at the end.
Me too.
It was randomized. We didn't really go in an order that based off of our favorite movies. And I'm just gonna be straight up, dude. Conjuring, baby. S tier.
That scared the crap out of me.
Nightmares, crazy, and it had everything in the movie. It had jump scares. It had the demonic possessions. It had the scary factor of the unknown. People were getting dragged. Like, it encompassed almost every horror flick out there. I don't even know what to say, man.
And two things. One, it gave me that believable factor again. Even though it wasn't found footage. You watch some paranormal movies and they're like, oh, you see the demon, and it's like right there at your cross. No, this one was like, oh, the door's opening, or looking
like Darth Maul.
Yeah, like it was more believable because like you in the beginning of the movie, like it grew to like, oh, the door opening to, oh, now someone's possessed. Like that's how, if anyone knows paranormal, that's what usually happens.
What about that scene where the mom's getting dragged through the house? That was crazy.
It was the first film to feature our beloved Ed and Lorraine Warren, because they haven't done that. They've done movies based off their investigations before. They've never done a movie about them before, and this is like the first time. This is S for sure.
S tier. So this is basically what our nightmare S tier list for horror and sci-fi, because some of these sci-fi movies have horror in it. So now, if you don't like it, that's fine. Leave a comment, argue about it, let us know what you think, Yeah, and we'll actually do more tier lists of different things. So in the future, me and Ethan are working on another tier list video we'll have in the future. It's going to be specific episodes that are the scariest of Ghost Adventures until we completely upset Zach Bagans. Sorry, Zach. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you enjoyed hanging out and going over movies with us. Hopefully we could stream the next one so that we can have live discussions with people, but only if we have a good stream of people in the live stream so that we can discuss it. Thank you for watching. I'm Sergio. That's Ethan. And we'll catch you guys next time. Later.
Bye, guys.